Alright, let's talk about what happens after you've closed a client, because winning the sales call is only half the battle. The real long-term money comes from keeping that client happy, delivering consistently, and building trust. And here's the proof this works. This exact onboarding process has helped lead generation agencies scale past 150k per month in revenue. It's also the same framework I've used personally whilst working with Sneeko. So if you want a plug and play onboarding system that keeps clients long term and sets you apart from every other freelancer, pay close attention. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I handle onboarding step by step. Let's dive in. Step 1. The follow-up email. The very first thing I do after a sales call is send a professional follow-up email. This email lays everything out clearly. What we're delivering, how the lead will be sent, and exactly what data fields are included. Think of it almost like a simple contract. It removes confusion, sets expectations, and shows the client that you're organized and professional. Quick note, this isn't legal advice. If you want that extra layer of protection, you can absolutely get a proper contract drafted by a lawyer or solicitor. But in practice, a clear follow-up email does the job 9 times out of 10, especially when you're just starting out. Step 2. Payment link. Now, instead of messing around with invoices and waiting for paperwork to be signed off, I keep it simple. I send a Stripe payment link. It's clean, fast, and professional. The client clicks the link, pays directly, and the order is confirmed. The best part, they can use the same link to order more leads whenever they're ready. No chasing, no delays. For international clients, you can also use Wise. It's great for wire transfers, especially if they prefer bank-to-bank payments or want to avoid card fees. Wise is fast, secure, and usually much cheaper than traditional international transfers. Both Stripe and Wise makes life easier for everyone. You get paid faster, they have flexible, secure options, and you skip the endless back and forth over invoices. It keeps the relationship smooth and makes you look professional from day one. Step 3. Google Sheet setup. Once the payment's done, the very next step is setting up a shared Google Sheet for the client. Here's how I run it. I create a clean sheet that both me and the client can access. Then, using Zapier, I connect our forms or landing pages directly into that sheet. That means every time a lead comes in, it automatically gets pushed into that sheet real time. This Google Sheet then becomes our central hub. The client can see leads flowing in, I can see exactly what's being delivered, and it gives us both a clear, transparent record. It's also the perfect place for feedback. Clients can drop notes like, spoke to them, good lead, or this one wasn't qualified. That feedback loop helps me refine campaigns quickly and keeps us aligned. It's simple, it's transparent, and it builds trust, because there's no mystery about where the leads are going or what's being delivered. Step 4. The launch call. Before delivery officially kicks off, I always book a short launch call with the client. This isn't a big formal meeting. 50 or 20 minutes is plenty, but it's important because it sets the tone for the entire relationship. On this call, I cover the practical expectations, how many leads they can expect per day, how those leads will be delivered via a shared spreadsheet or directly into their CRM, and what real-time delivery actually means, so there are no surprises. I also let them know if anything feels off, they should tell me immediately so we can adjust. That reassurance positions you as professional and proactive, and it makes clients feel supported right from day one. Step 5. The feedback loop. Now this part is absolutely key, and it deserves its own step. Digital leads are very different from referrals or word of mouth. With referrals, clients just pick up the phone and go. With digital leads, feedback is the fuel that makes the system work. Here's exactly how I put it. I say something like, if you don't update the sheet, I can't optimize your campaigns. That means clients need to track and share things like who picked up the phone, who booked an appointment, and who converted into a paying customer. When clients provide you this information, you can improve the ads, filter out low quality leads, scale what's working, and keep them happy for the long term. No feedback equals no optimization, and no optimization equals a short-lived client. So set this expectation early, before the first lead goes out. Frame it as a partnership. Say something like, you'll get a steady flow of leads from me. All I need from you is honest feedback so I can keep making them better. This way, clients see their role clearly. They understand success depends on communication, not just on you. Step 6. Order tracking. Inside that same Google Sheet, I also track every single order. Let me give you an example. Say a client orders 50 leads. I log it clearly. Order 1, 50 leads delivered. 5 replaced due to bad leads or duplicates. 5 extra added on top. Now why do I do this? Because that level of transparency builds trust. It shows the client that I'm not just dumping leads into a sheet and disappearing. I'm actively managing their order, keeping it clean and making sure they get full value for every single lead they paid for. And it also makes scaling easier later on. When a client sees that everything is clearly tracked, what's been delivered, what's been replaced, what's been added, they feel confident to order again, and often in larger volumes. So don't treat the sheet as just a delivery method. Treat it as a live record of the partnership. That way clients can literally see you on top of things, and it sets you apart from every freelancer who just sends leads and hopes for the best. Step 7. Mid-order check-in. Here's another important step that most people miss. When you're about 70 to 80% through an order, let's say you've delivered 40 out of 50 leads, don't just keep quiet and wait until the end. This is the perfect moment to check in. I usually send a quick message or email that says something like, "Hey, we're at 40 leads now. How are things going? Any feedback so far?" Now why do I do this? Because it opens the door for real feedback before the order is complete. If something needs tweaking, maybe the targeting, maybe the messaging, maybe the way leads are being followed up, we can catch it early, not after the full order is done. And here's the other benefit. By checking in before the order is finished, you create a smooth transition into the next one. So instead of wrapping up 50 leads, going quiet and waiting for them to come back, you've already started the conversation about what's next. That way, momentum isn't lost. They're already thinking about the next batch, whether it's 50, 100 or more. It's a small step, just a simple check-in at 70 to 80%, but it makes a huge difference in both client satisfaction and retention. Step 8. Scaling up. Once you've proven the leads are good and the client is happy, that's when it's time to start scaling. But here's the key, you don't go from 0 to 500 overnight. You start small, maybe 50 leads to begin with. Then you increase, step by step, 50, then 60, then 80, then 100, and so on. Now why do it this way? Because it gives both you and the client room to adjust. Their sales team can build confidence handling volume, and you can monitor the results as you scale. Now here's the big mistake I see people make. They assume more leads equals better, but that's not always true. If the client sales team can't handle the extra calls, follow-ups and appointments, then throwing more leads at them actually does them more harm than good. It overwhelms their system, it frustrates their staff, and it makes your leads look way worse than they actually are. So before you agree to scale up, always ask, can your team realistically handle more volume? If the answer is yes, perfect, increase the order. If the answer is no, then help them build the systems they need first. Scaling only works if the client can keep up. Done right though, this is how you turn a 2k a month client into a 10k a month client. Step 9. Building a partnership. Now this last step is all about mindset. You don't want to be seen as just another lead supplier, because if that's all you are, you'll always be replaceable. Anyone can send leads. What clients really want is a partner. So how do you position yourself as that partner? It's simple. Start asking better questions. Things like, what hooks are actually working best on sales calls right now? What objections are you hearing most often from prospects? When you close a deal, what do people usually say tip them over the line? When you ask these questions, two powerful things happen. You get insight straight from the front lines. Clients will sometimes hand you golden nuggets, exact phrases, objections, and triggers they're hearing daily. You can take those and feed them straight into your ad copy and your landing pages. That means your campaigns get sharper and convert faster. You can also show them that you care about their success. It positions you as someone who's invested in their results, not just your own. They'll see you as a strategic partner, not a transactional vendor. And when clients feel that, they stick around a lot longer, because now you're part of their growth, not just an expense line. This is how you build long-term partnerships. This is how you scale accounts into bigger and bigger deals. And this is how you stop being the lead guy and start being the go-to growth partner they can't imagine working without. Alright, that's the end of the video. But here's the thing, closing a client is just the beginning. The real money, the kind that stacks up to $150,000 per month, comes from what you do after the sale. That's why onboarding is so important. It's not just about delivering leads, it's also about setting clear expectations, building trust, and creating systems that keep clients long term. Do this right and you don't just win a client, you build a partnership that can scale to something massive. That's why I dropped the 2 plug-and-play resources inside the school group, a client onboarding questionnaire and a professional follow-up email template. Use them straight away or tweak them for your niche. These are the exact systems that keep clients happy, build trust, and turn one-time buyers into long-term partners. So head into the group, grab them and put them to work, because that's the real difference between quick wins and building a business that lasts. I'll see you in the next one.